Welcome. You know, in the pharmaceutical world, one tiny mistake on the production line can cause massive, massive problems. And when you trace those mistakes back to their source, you often find one culprit: training. Not a lack of training, but training that was done just to check a box, training that wasn't actually effective. Today, we're going to dig into what effectiveness really means for your quality management system and why getting this right is, well, it's completely non-negotiable.
So let's just jump right in with a huge question. Is it really enough for training to just happen? I mean, we've all been there, right? You sit through the session, you sign the attendance sheet, and boom, checkbox ticked. But is that it? Is that where the story ends? The short answer is a big fat no. Not even close.
And that's really the heart of the problem we're talking about today. For way too long, the entire focus has been on getting that signature on a piece of paper, just proving someone was in the room. But we're about to see why that whole way of thinking is completely outdated. Honestly, the game has changed. Yeah, so think about it this way. On one hand, you've got the old approach, the attendance sheet. It proves somebody showed up. That's it. But on the other hand, you've got the new standard, real, actual change in how people do their jobs. One is just a record. The other is a result. And guess which one regulators actually care about? It's the result, every single time. And that's the absolute key takeaway here. Regulatory authorities are looking right past the paperwork. They're not just asking, hey, was the training done? No, they're digging deeper. They're asking the much tougher question. Did that training actually change anything? Are people doing their jobs better because of it? That is the new bar you have to clear. So this brings us right to the center of it all. We keep throwing this word effectiveness around, but what does it really truly mean in the world of a pharma QMS? Let's break it down.
Here it is, plain and simple. Training effectiveness is the measurable proof that what you taught in that training room has successfully changed behavior and improved how work gets done where it actually counts, out on the shop floor. See, it's not a fuzzy feeling or a good intention. It's cold, hard, verifiable evidence.
So what does that evidence look like to an auditor? Well, they're looking for a clear three-step chain of proof. First, did the person actually get it? Do they understand the procedure? Second, can they put that knowledge into action? Can they physically do the job correctly, time after time? And third, does it stick? Is that new, correct way of working being followed every single day on the shop floor? It's a simple but powerful validation. Okay, so we get it. Effectiveness is crucial. But the million-dollar question is, how do you actually measure it without creating a mountain of paperwork? Well, the good news is, it's probably way simpler than you're imagining. Let's look at a few really practical ways. Check these out. 4 powerful, straightforward methods. 1. Just ask some smart questions right after the training. See if the key concepts landed. 2. Ask the person to actually show you how it's done. This is the classic show me, don't tell me. It works. 3. Have a supervisor watch them do the job in their normal work environment. And 4, my favorite, look at the data. Have the number of errors or deviations for that task gone down since the training? The numbers don't lie. Now, you're probably wondering where to focus these efforts first. I mean, while it's important everywhere, effectiveness is absolutely mission critical in a few key spots. SOPs, of course, GMP principles, anything to do with change control, and, naturally, operating your key equipment. A mistake in any of these areas, well, the consequences can be huge. And speaking of consequences, let's flip this around and talk about what happens when you ignore all this. There are some very, very clear warning signs, big red flags that auditors are basically trained to hunt for. This right here, this says it all. If the same mistake, the same deviation keeps popping up over and over again, that is the biggest red flag you could possibly wave. For a regulator, it's basically an open and shut case. It's proof positive that whatever training you did simply did not work. And that leads us right to the most common things auditors write up in their findings. They see it all the time. Training given with zero attempt to verify if anyone actually understood it. They find training records where the evaluation section is just blank. They spot those repeating mistakes, and you'd be surprised. They find training that wasn't even relevant to the person's job in the first place. These are the exact traps you need to avoid. Now listen up, because this is so important. If a deviation happens again, your corrective action can't just be retrain the employee. That's not a solution, it's a band-aid, and regulators see right through it. You have to go deeper. The real fix has to address the training itself.
You have to fundamentally change the method or the content. And all of this brings us full circle, right back to the system that should be managing this whole process, your quality management system, your QMS. A truly good QMS doesn't just track who went to training. It's the engine that ensures that training is effective. See, a really robust QMS sets up a continuous loop of improvement. It helps you plan the right training for the right people, ensures it's actually relevant to their job, and, crucially, it builds in that step to verify that it worked. And then, the best part, it uses that data and feedback to make the training process even better next time. It's a learning system. Because at the end of the day, here's the ultimate truth. You can have the most beautiful, perfectly organized training records in the entire world, but real success? That's not in a file cabinet. It's seen out on the shop floor, in the correct, consistent, and compliant actions your team takes every minute of every single day. That's the real test.
So I'll leave you with this one question to take back with you. The very next time you start to plan a training session, ask yourself, is our goal just to get this done? Or is our goal to achieve true, measurable effectiveness? Because trust me, the choice you make there changes absolutely everything.